Okay, we have what we call our 12-foot country sleigh. Don't mind the mess around. We've been coming and going on snowmobile trips flat out, so there's just stuff dropped everywhere. It's that time of the year where we're enjoying the sport that we love so much. So a friend of mine is going to make one of these. He wanted me to send him some pictures and stuff, so I figured the easiest thing to do was make a video. As always, I like to use 3/8 sheet UH&W. This one had a 3-inch runner on the outside and a 3-inch runner on the outside, and there was a 2-inch runner in the middle, but as you see way out there, it decided to leave the program. It broke off in the middle last trip. So this one here has over 6,000 kilometers, starting to show some wear. We're learning some, show you some spots we're going to upgrade now, today, tomorrow. This whole conglomeration back here, that's for a rack that bolts on up there. Not proven, not going to talk about it. 3/4 by 2 stiffener strips for the back sections. Run them up for 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Works really good. The back end doesn't all flop around. All the sections for the cans lid down are 13.5, and the sections for the cans stood up are 14.5, right there. So we got one lid down the back, 2 stood up, 2 stood up, and the rest lid down. All those crossbars you see, or the tie downs, use those for bags up front. 6 sections fits on a 12-foot sheet really good. You can squeeze 7 sections on there, but it's not really the greatest. So what have we broke? What have we learned? These tie downs that had to be off center for those cans. Look, it broke. The runner broke in line with the front bolt. So when we put this back together, we're only going to put the bolt through the sheet there, and this back bolt will go through the entire runner. We have seen them, not this one, but we have seen them break here on this hole ahead of the stiffener. So the fix for that is this. The bolt through this bar will only go through this sheet, not through the runner, whereas the rest of them go through the runner. And now look, this is new. I haven't seen this before. See how it's down in the middle or up on the sides or whatever happened? I don't know what happened there. We've seen a lot of gas sleighs. I've seen them bent up in the middle from hitting rocks, and I've seen them down in the middle when they don't have the center runner and you stand 2 cans up. But I haven't seen it down in the middle without standing cans up there and with a runner under it. So that is what it is. I think for this one, I'm going to put it in the press and straighten up and put another bar across the top, make like a truss. Moving forward, I would probably just use all 1.5-inch tubing, but this one is already drilled for 1-inch tubing, and 1.5-inch would mess up our 13.5 center to center, or inside to inside, so no good. When you only do 6 sections on a 12-foot sleigh, you get what I call the extended baggage up front. Normally there's like 10 inches on these sleighs there. But this one, let me get the tape out. This one is more like 15-ish, 14.5 or so. And it's really nice. You can put a nice big bag up there with all your clothes and stuff. You see this one here is outfitted for an oil can. We had the cheap garbage T-nuts there, and they failed. So I think I've shown in other videos, I make the plates with the nuts welded to them. Have to use red Loctite in those. That's a lesson too. Even blue Loctite doesn't seem to work, so red Loctite in the homemade plate is better than T-nuts. And same thing, 20-inch piece, 8 inches on the sheet, 6 inches up there. This here, you've seen these in other videos. That one there is not long enough, bit of a nuisance. That needs to extend out a couple inches. Makes it easier for pinning up. 24-inch bars. This one in particular is 23.5 wide, and it is 23.5 wide because it makes fitting those cans on there really nice and snug, and they don't move around. So, hope that helps. Any other questions about that? Just feel free to ask. Okay. so I thought it would be time to start doing some more technical stuff in the videos. The sleighs are what they are, pretty self-explanatory after you see a few. So we're going to talk a little about the repair we're doing on this 12-foot country sleigh. You saw that we had some aluminum all bent up. So got a cheap shop press. Everyone should have a shop press. If you're into snowmobiles, it's worth the money. Go and buy a shop press. And I put the tubing in the shop press like this and pushed down. Pretty simple, straighten it out. And then we welded these bars on. So aluminum TIG welding, some people think it's like an art, and some people that have been at it forever know that it's just welding. It is what it is. So some tips for aluminum TIG welding. Just talk about the equipment first. Lincoln Square Wave 200. I bought this back when they were like brand new on the market, and there was all kinds of rebates, and it really wasn't that expensive. And at the time it was probably the right buy. Now they're really expensive. Not sure if I'd recommend that for the money. There's probably better options. As a guy who welds almost every day, it's not really that impressive. It's just a welding machine. It doesn't have any like special tricks, or it's not super smooth or anything. And in actual fact, the first while I had it, I really struggled with tungsten life. And not like dipping the tungsten in the puddle and messing it up, because that's my fault. Just the tungsten, it would consume tungsten. It was frustrating. So that's my first tip. Once I figured out that even though I'd welded lots in the past, 1/8 aluminum and stuff, and used 3/32 tungsten, once I got these cheap off Amazon 1/8 zirconated tungsten with the white stripe, that made me not hate this machine. So tungsten life, it's not even possible to explain it. It's like 100 times better with this compared to 3/32 welding on my normal 135 amps or so. That's the machine set to 135, flat pedal to get your puddle started, and back it a bit as you go. So that 1/2 inch round stock is using 1/8 tungsten. I have my machine set to 175 because it makes it nice and easy to get the puddle started. And as you go, you can back off on your pedal and dab, dab, dab. I always like to start with my AC balance at about 72%. So that is 72% electrode negative. Electrode negative in AC welding is penetrating. Electrode positive is the cleaning. And they say that it's because of ionic bombardment from the arc and how it ionizes the shielding gas. So electrode positive is clean, electrode negative is penetrate. I like to start at 72% electrode negative and go from there. If it's dirty metal, you dial it back 60% or so electrode negative. Usually they never ever go above 75 electrode negative. So 1/8 tungsten, 72% electrode negative, 175 amps. I got 22 or 23 CFH. Pure argon, pretty good for 1/2 inch aluminum round bar. I'll show a clip in a second of it close up. So that's a little bit of aluminum TIG welding stuff. I think we'll get a bit more into that in the future. I got a video started of repairing a snowmobile heat exchanger. Need a bit of help to finish it. I need someone to hold the phone while I do some stuff, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, we'll get that sleigh pieced back together. Lots of exciting stuff coming up around here. I don't know if you're into Cane's Quest or not, but looks like everyone is racing again in 2024. Looks like I'll be involved in that, so that'll be exciting. Probably be racing my 23 X-Train that you've seen me playing with, so you already got some of my secrets on that, so good for you. I would just make it better. What else do we have on the go? Cane's Quest, my 600 E-Tech super wide. Got a deal made to sell that, so I'll do an end of season review, positives, negatives, all that kind of stuff, and we'll talk about what's replacing it and what that's going to mean for riding and trips and stuff. What else we got on the go? That's it for now, maybe. few more sleighs to build, but it's only things that you've seen before. 16-inch, 12-foot sleighs. Just 2 sheets sitting on the table for that. So anyway, stay tuned, more stuff coming up. Okay, so here's the bars. Oh well, they're really good sometimes, other times they're only okay. Just the nature of welding is what it is. So one thing I forgot to mention, if you're doing aluminum welding, you want a stainless steel brush. It's only for cleaning aluminum. And a lot of people say it's not necessary. I really like preheating with propane. Just find it starts better, goes better, flows better. Do you absolutely need it? No, you don't absolutely need it, but I like it. And I knew there was something else that I was going to make a video of. I said more exciting stuff coming. So after all the welding and the sleigh repairs and stuff, we're going to get into some suspension tech and shock tech and stuff. We're going to take shocks out of one of those and shocks out of my X-Train and some spare shocks off the wall. And we're going to sit down and talk about what all the different shocks are and how they work differently and what that means for adjustability and how you set it up to help you feel more comfortable on your snowmobile. So yeah, as the spring unfolds and we park the gear and do some summer maintenance, we'll be pumping out some videos like that. So thank you. Have a good day.